Hi, this is Rachel, speaking to you now. Please do not drive or operate any machinery whilst listening to this audio. Some of the things I speak about may be triggering. Please make sure you are in a safe frame of mind to continue. This is not intended to be medical or mental health advice, and I am not a certified mental health professional. In the case of an emergency, please contact your local resources. Of death and of life. Today is my Indian grandfather's second death anniversary. And 2 weeks ago, it was Nani's 9th death anniversary. Nani means maternal grandmother in Hindi. Nana is what I called my mom's dad. I still have them listed in my contacts, my virtual address book, as Nani and Nana, with their address listed there too. Except someone else lives there now at my grandparents' house. They must have bought it about 50 years ago or so, back when the Bay Area still had affordable housing. Death anniversaries are important in Indian culture. They must at least be acknowledged. My grandfather sent out a group email to an extensive audience each year of his beloved wife's passing. He wasn't always a good man, but he adhered fiercely to his Hindu traditions. It's weird thinking that my grandparents were born in India almost a century ago, that they took a huge boat with many stops to arrive in the San Francisco port a month later. A whole month at sea, and not in the best quarters, probably deep down in the belly of the ship. I recently had to give away the 3 large metal trunks they brought with them in 1951. It's true that mental illness runs in my family because trauma and suffering also run in my family, probably on both sides. And generational trauma passing down the generations, that is an actual thing. I'm saying it's real and it exists. Let's say you endure years of trauma in your lifetime, which then results in lifelong suffering. Your brain chemistry changes slowly over time, which leads to areas of the brain which process trauma to be anatomically larger to accommodate the overload on that region of the brain. Neural network pathways develop, which get reinforced over time. And I will call those trauma networks. Like, for example, being startled more easily because you're on high alert even after the traumatic events are over. Now, I don't have empirical research in front of me, but I read a study of taxi drivers in London that the portion of the brain that handles navigation and spatial awareness, the hippocampus, is larger than the posterior hippocampus of the general population. And so, a quick internet search suggests that complex trauma can lead to structural and functional changes in the brain. And say you haven't resolved your trauma by the time you have a child. This child theoretically can inherit the structural integrity of your trauma brain, being more susceptible to stronger reactions to trauma in their own lives, and the cycle continues. You see, anyone can feel sadness. It's a normal human emotion that is a reaction to a sad event. But if that sadness turns into you not being able to get out of bed for weeks and months, then said sadness has become an interference with you living your life. it can then qualify for a diagnosis of major depressive disorder, among other things. Unfortunately, the first reaction by medical practitioners in the West, and in this country in particular, is to put the patient on medication. Once you start the meds, it's hard to get back off of them. I've probably tried at least 15 to 25 different medications over the past decade plus. The antipsychotic medications change your metabolism and make you fat. I've often thought I'd rather be fat and happy instead of skinny and suicidal than dead. Only I'm not happy. I'm barely stable. I take a cocktail of meds every night. And I look up at the photo of Granny, hugging a younger, prettier version of myself. She would have always loved me no matter what. Mental illness be damned. I was her son's daughter. It's a pity she lived so far away all of my life. People who live close to their grandparents, they are so lucky. But I won't complain. I'm really glad I'm still alive. I do have happy moments, like when my mom picks up the phone and I get to hear her voice. I get to hear her voice. I'm so privileged to be able to say this. At times I want to move to where she is, 2 states over, but my mental health providers are only licensed in California, so here I must stay. It sucks. And I hear that mental health care in Washington state is so much more awful than here, that they can lock you away for months in a hospital institution. No, thank you. I'd much rather live at home here and, to use an older phrase, be integrated into the rest of the general population. All of the media outlets still make suicidal people out to be the devil, dangerous, to be locked away, murderers, people who could stab you, when this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, I've never once been homicidal. Heck, I step around ants on the sidewalk. Babies bring me so much joy, and I sleep with a stuffed elephant every night for comfort. But sure, if you are the devil yourself, why don't you make me out to be the devil, out of wretched ignorance and sheer stupidity? Make me out to be evil because it pleases you, maybe even wins you points in whatever cohort you delve in. Your maker will be the one to judge you anyway. But I won't go there. I will only pity the hundreds of thousands, likely millions, of people out there who are misinformed and ill-guided when it comes to their chosen lack of knowledge about mentally ill people. Why do you think I'm writing this book? No, it's not for them, the ignoramus. It's because there will be one person, one human, reading or listening to these paragraphs, who is also contemplating death by suicide. And I am here for them to be seen, for he, they, or she to be told and to learn that they are not alone in this horrible emotional and mental suffering, to let them know that I too have been there, have felt that I could not take even one more day of the torture and the pain, the anhedonia, the feelings of nothingness, the sense of foreboding doom ahead, and that even when this feels endless, like it will never change, never get better, it does. Eventually, something does break and change. One day, you will be able to look up at the sun, the rain, the sleet, and know that it's there. Be able to notice nature as it is. And for that one moment, the doom is irrelevant, because you get a moment of reprieve from the sadness. And eventually, those moments become minutes, become hours, become days at a time. Eventually, you will get to feel the emotion of happiness for a few minutes, and you will be so shocked you won't know what hit you. Is this what happiness feels like? You'll ask yourself. And you can surprise yourself with an affirmative answer after you've contemplated the thought. It will come. Change will come. Change is the only guarantee in life. And you will change with the years. Your life is worth fighting for. It's worth hanging on through the treacherous night to see the sunlight again. One day, all of your suffering will have been worth it. I'm into my 4th decade of life, and I couldn't have said these things just a year ago. Look, I'm currently hunched over a desk, and my black pen is boring indentations into my first 3 fingers of my right hand, the way I hold my pen. It's late at night. I'm tired. My neck and shoulders are very sore. You don't think I'd be doing this to myself if I didn't believe in the things I've written, do you? What I do believe in is you. You who are soaking in these words. You whose life may be hanging in the balance of mere words, the yes and the no. Well, I say yes to you, and no to not lasting beyond today. Tomorrow wants you. Change is never immediate. So hold on for just one more day. Tomorrow's decisions can worry about themselves. Hang on for today. Just for one more day. Try to get some rest and be exceedingly kind and gentle to yourself. Chris used to say this to me often because I needed the reminder. Now I get to remind others. All the wisdom I have is thanks to my therapist of 16 years. Thank you, Chris. Now rest. It's time for sleep. I bid you good night.